Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the INSS Street Stock Series taking on North Wilkesboro Speedway tonight in the halfway point of the season. Qualifying is just getting underway right now. So we've got Aaron Raymond currently out on the racetrack making his qualifying attempt. Sean Flory out there as well. As we have drivers just getting qualifying. I do apologize for a little bit of a late start. I thought we were running a little bit behind, but I guess we are right on time here tonight as Aaron Raymond is currently fastest in this qualifying attempt. Sean Flory just moved into second. Mark Baldwin, that is, into third. Stephen Rockford and Ethan Tyrell, your top five. See Aaron Raymond now coming across the stripe. Second lap, a little bit quicker at a 1993. Mark Baldwin running a 1999. They're the only two drivers that break into that 19-second bracket. And as I say that, Stephen Rockford and Ty Delphia both crack the 19-second bracket. Jason Pelkey just coming off of turn number 4. And across the stripe, and he's currently going to be in the 8th position. Here's Cam Powers coming across the stripe on his second lap. And Cam is going to stay in that 13th position currently as Caleb Kramer makes his way out onto the racetrack currently. I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, or over on Twitch. We do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. We see Caleb Kramer coming to take the green flag on his first of 2 laps here. Down into turn number 1. Very unique track here, North Wilkesboro. We'll talk about that in a little bit. As Kramer makes his way off of turn number 4 and across the stripe. And Caleb Kramer just kind of laying it all hang out there, coming across the stripe that time. He's going to currently be in the 12th position. Is anybody else getting out there to make a qualifying attempt here? As we've got just over a minute left here in qualifying. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here in the INSS SD Ireland Cancer Research Fund Street Stock Series. Of course, with the SD Ireland Cancer Research Fund, together we can conquer cancer. SD Ireland Cancer Research is a dedicated organization that's stands as a proud supporter of cancer research with a mission to make a significant impact on the fight against cancer. SD Ireland Cancer Research works to support groundbreaking research initiatives, innovative treatments, and advancements in cancer care. And up to this date, they have raised over $12 million towards cancer research. So if you can find a way to donate to such a great organization, there is a link down below in the description. As it looks like qualifying is just about finished up here. While we've got a quick moment, let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. We see Logan Powers currently at the top of the leaderboard. Stephen Rockford sits back in second. Ty Delphia in third. Aaron Raymond and Mark. I'm going to say this wrong. I know I was saying it right last week. Somebody corrected me on it. Matt Zaccardo, then Justin Prescott, Ethan Tyrell, Jake Rout, Sean Flory, and Shane O'Neill tied for that 10th spot. Frank Hughes Jr., Andy Collins both tied for 11th, and Mark Baldwin back in 13th. Jason Pelkey and Caleb Kramer round out your top 15 currently in the points as we reach the halfway point of our season here tonight from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Of course, North Wilkesboro Speedway, one of the oldest tracks in NASCAR, broke ground and opened in 1947. Very unique racetrack, especially because down the front stretch, you're actually going downhill, up the back, or down the back stretch, you're going uphill. So we'll show you that in a few moments from the onboards. But Jake Grout's going to start on pole of heat number 1. Ty Delphia to the outside. Justin Prescott and Mark Baldwin in row number 2. Jason Pelkey, Shane O'Neill round out row number 3. Caleb Kramer, Cam Powers, and Bradley Bushy will be your first heat here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll ride on board with Jake Grout real quick for this pace lap. Talking about the elevation change, not your normal elevation change that you see such as a road course, but a significant elevation change. You can see the car kind of pitched downhill, down into turn number 1, and as they come around turn 2 and down the backstretch, they will be going uphill as Jake Grout gets that car rolling here. And because of that, it changes the braking zones into turns 1 and 2. Another thing, you see right down to the grass through turns 1 and 2, no curbing down there, and you see him coming up the hill down the backstretch. Really easy to see the elevation change here as they come down into turn number 3. And a big curb down to the inside of turn number 3 right here. So it's going to make it very unique for these drivers. The braking zones will change each lap as the pace car dives down on the pit road. Green flag flies, and we are racing for 10 laps in our first heat race. Side to side down into turn number 1. Jake Grout getting the advantage on Ty Delphia as they come off. Oh, Ty Delphia gets loose. Everybody loose off of turn number 2. As Ty Delphia right there on the back bumper of Grout as they go down into turn number 3. Delphia has got Justin Prescott right there on the back bumper as they make their way across the line to start our first lap here in our first heat. Meanwhile, just behind, Jason Pelkey to the inside of the 91 of Mark Baldwin as they come off of turn number 2. As our top 3 go single file, here comes Pelkey to the inside, trying to get the position off turn number 4, and he will slide into that position to take over the 5th spot. Meanwhile, up front, Jake Grout still has a mirror full of Ty Delphia as they come off of turn number 2, and you can see just how close that is off that bumper cam. Justin Prescott right there as well. Ooh, gets a little loose off the back bumper of Ty Delphia. Yeah, it looks like you might have to hit the brakes or something to keep from running into the back of the 13 machine. Meanwhile, a little further back, Shane O'Neill looking down to the inside of Pelkey as Baldwin has gotten back around Pelkey. There's a side-by-side battle back for the 5th and 6th position. With across the line this time, we'll have just 5 laps to go, and you can see just how out of control these cars are. They are loose off of turn number 2 and off of turn number 4. These cars are sliding all over the place. As Ty Delphia tried to make a move down to the inside of Jake Grout down into turn number 3. He's got the position. They're side by side off of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Coming to 4 laps to go. And this is just our first heat race of the night. If this is how the racing is going to be all night long, we are in for a treat as our leaders bang doors down into turn number 3. Side by side, Ty Delphia just out in front as Grout gets a little loose there, chases the car up the track, and Ty Delphia going to take over the top spot. Now Justin Prescott right back on the back bumper of Jake Grout as they come off of turn number 2. Grout turns down underneath Delphia, and he's got the position now down into turn number 3. Meanwhile, Justin Prescott still waiting in the wings, trying to see if he has a chance to make something happen as they lean on each other off of turn number 4. 2 laps to go. Down into turn number 2. Come off the corner side by side. A little bit more room this time. They weren't leaning on each other quite as much as we've seen in previous laps as they come off of turn number 4. Grout gets a little loose there on the low side. White flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go here in our first heat. Ty Delphia trying to get everything he can up on that high side, but here comes Grout with that low lane advantage. Does he have the traction? Down into turn number 3. Who's it going to be in our first heat race tonight? Grout pushes up off the track. Little contact there with Delphia, and Jake Grout is going to get the win in heat number 1. Man, what a heat. What some racing that we had here just in our first heat race here tonight. And Jake Grout gets the win. Ty Delphia in second. Justin Prescott, Mark Baldwin, and Jason Pelkey round out your top 5. Shane O'Neill, Caleb Kramer, Cam Powers, and Bradley Bush were your round out the field in the first heat race. Let's take a look at heat number 2. Stephen Rockford going to be on the pole for this one, with Aaron Raymond to his outside. Row 2 is going to find Matt Zaccardo with Sean Fleury to his outside in position number 4. Ethan Tyrell and Scott Rockford going to round out row number 3. Then Logan Powers and Andy Collins round out the field here tonight in heat number 2. And if this one's half as exciting as the first one was, we are all in for a treat. Stephen Rockford leads them down to the starting zone. Pace car is going to take that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Green flag flies, and we are racing here in heat number 2. Refresh that tower there because heats tend to always mess up our timing and scoring, but here we go. Back to the racing at hand as we see Stephen Rockford down on the bottom, Aaron Raymond up on the high side as they come off of turn number 4. Down across the stripe, and Stephen Rockford just barely out in front of the 88. These drivers were watching that first heat, how slick the track was on the cold tires, as Rockford easily takes over the top spot, putting Raymond back in second. Raymond will go take a look down to the inside as they go down into turn number 1. With that low lane advantage, we see Rockford, gets really loose there off of turn number 2. That caused Raymond to have to check up a little bit. They are side by side through turns 3 and 4. For that top spot. Aaron Raymond really loose there off of turn number 4. That allows Stephen Rockford to get the advantage down into turn at number 1. And right behind, Matt Zaccardo, trying to take advantage of the slip up of our top 2 as here comes the 60 to the back bumper of Aaron Raymond. You know, the rest of the pack pretty much single file right now, as Stephen Rockford is starting to pull away from Aaron Raymond just a little bit. Raymond getting that car really sideways a moment ago. That could really affect those tires on these short runs. Just 5 laps to go in our second heat. Ethan Tyrell take a look down underneath Sean Fleury. Tyrell trying to take that 4th spot away. It looks like he will indeed slide up in front of Sean Fleury as they come across the stripe for 4 laps to go. Meanwhile, Stephen Rockford has the 88 of Aaron Raymond starting to reel him back in as Raymond runs way up the racetrack, trying to use all the racetrack to keep his momentum. And he did gain about 0.04 of a second on that last lap. But Zaccardo right there trying to make his presence known, apply some pressure to the 88 as we are quickly approaching 2 laps to go. Rockford's going to take the popsicle sticks as they come off of turn number 4. Just 2 laps left in our second heat. Aaron Raymond still trying to hold off Zaccardo as they go down into turn number 3. White flag will fly this time by. 1 more lap for Stephen Rockford as he's on cruise control down into turn number 1. Everybody kind of spreading out single file here in our second heat. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Stephen Rockford with a comfortable lead. He's going to cruise to victory here in our second heat. You see Steven Rockford wins heat number 2. Aaron Raymond in second. Matt Zaccardo in the third position. Ethan Tyrell, Sean Fleury round out your top 5. Scott Rockford, Andy Collins, and Logan Powers rounds out the field in heat number 2. That's going to bring up our grid here tonight. Starting on pole will be the 49 of Jake Grout, with Steven Rockford rolling off from position number 2. Ty Delphia rolls off third, with Aaron Raymond back in the 4th position. Then Justin Prescott and Matt Zaccardo in row number 3. Mark Baldwin and Ethan Tyrell back in row number 4. And then rounding out our top 10 will be Jason Pelkey and Sean Fleury. Shane O'Neill will roll off from the 11th position, with Scott Rockford back in 12th. 13th is going to be Caleb Kramer and Andy Collins, followed by Cam Powers, Logan Powers, and it looks like Bradley Bushy will not be running here tonight. He is retired from the event already. As we get ready for 2 pace laps here in the SD Ireland Cancer Research Fund Street Stock Series. And looks like Steven Rockford had some issues there on getting that car fired on the start. He gets up to the front row where he belongs. We'll have one more lap before we go green flag racing. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us again. I hope everybody had a happy and safe new year. Glad to see everybody tuning in. Again, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or over on Kick, we do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like, follow button, and hit that notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. We'll have our last race in the Tuesday night Doghouse Racing Series until February 18th. They'll be finish up their season at Old Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Gen 4 cars. So tune in Tuesday night for that one. Broadcast starts about 7:45, but here we go, getting ready for 100-lap racing here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Green flag is in the air. I'm sorry, 75 laps here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. There's a green flag in the air, and Jake Grout and Steven Rockford battling for that top spot. Ooh, we see the 88 of Aaron Raymond really sideways there off of turn number 2 as they come down into turns 3 and 4. Jake Grout going to lead the first lap here. There's a little push here from the 88 of Raymond to the 66 of Steven Rockford down into turn number 1. Raymond going to slice and dice down to the inside lane in front of Ty Delphia. Now he's going to try to make it 3 wide as they come off of turn number 4. Thinks better of it as they are side by side for the lead. Steven Rockford, Jake Grout down into turn number 1. Grout with the inside advantage. Here comes Rockford, though, trying to use that high lane, trying to keep that momentum up there. North Wilkesboro can be a 2-groove racetrack, but for how long until it eats up those tires? That's the big question as the field makes their way across the stripe to start lap number 4. The side-by-side battle for the lead continues. A little further back, there's a battle for 6th place between Ethan Tyrell and Mark Zaccardo. But this battle for the lead is shaping up as a third car comes into the mix. The 88 of Aaron Raymond is there trying to mix it up here and make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Steven Rockford able to use that high lane to his advantage, staying in front just barely of Jake Grout as they come off of turn number 4. And Rockford going to hold on to that top spot for now. But for how long are those tires going to hold on in this hard battle for the lead? It almost looks like they're holding up the 88 of Aaron Raymond here as they come off of turn number 4 and across the stripe. And it looks like he's got a little bit of a faster car. Unfortunately, he just has nowhere to take it as these two are battling side by side. Ty Delphia back in 4th, running all by himself, pulling away from Justin Prescott, but losing a little bit of ground to our leaders. While the battle for the top spot continues here as Grout now falls back a little bit. Already we're Going to quickly run up on some lap traffic. It looks like Cam Powers is just out in front of our leaders. Looks like Powers had a little bit of an issue a few moments ago. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 30 machine. Ooh, got really loose there. And oh, man. Able to save it. Keeps it off both walls. Impressive not to hit the outside wall. More impressive not to hit the inside wall. But our leaders are quickly approaching the lap traffic as they make their way off of turn number 2. Grout and Rockford still pretty even side by side as they come across the stripe. Almost identical at the line. Be a photo finish for sure if that was the last lap. As Aaron Raymond continues to try to put pressure and try to move one of these cars forward. Now you see the 30 of Cam Power is going to stay way up the racetrack and out of the way, allowing these boys to race. No issues for our leaders managing the lap traffic. They've got a little ways ahead until they're going to come up onto the second lap car. Looks like Caleb Kramer still quite a bit ahead of our leaders. Kramer just coming across the start-finish line as our leaders were exiting turn number 2, so quite a while until our leaders are going to catch up to any more lap traffic as Grout now starting to make some hay on that low side. He's got some headway now as he is almost completely in front of the 66 of Rockford. I don't know if the tires on the Rockford machine are giving up, but oh, a little shot there from Aaron Raymond down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Now our leaders are going to be single file as they go down into turn number 1. So Rockford up on that high lane probably, oh, gives the bumper. Oh, gets turned. Catches the inside wall. Caution is out, and that looked like a lot of damage for Stephen Rockford. Looks like the whole front end of that car. Front clip is gone on that 66 machine. Gonna bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. So we try to take a look to see exactly what happened to Stephen Rockford. We saw the contact. Saw the contact there. Rockford gets into the back of Jake Grout. Grout has to check up, or he has to check up for Grout, and then the 88 of Raymond didn't realize that the 66 was checking up there and ends up going for a slow spin down into the inside wall. Just nothing Rockford could do right there as he was, he had heavy contact there. I mean, it really wasn't that heavy a contact, but it was enough to really pull the front clip right off that car. Looks like he's got that damage fixed up. He's going to be able to continue. Unfortunately, he's going to be way back in the rear of the field. So it looks like next time by, the lights on the pace car will be shutting off. And the halfway point of the season is here tonight. Can't believe we're already halfway through the season. We appreciate everybody joining us and enjoying the racing here in the INSS SD Ireland Cancer Research Straight Stock Series. Next week, we'll be moving on to Richmond Raceway before we hit Oswego, Lanier, New Hampshire, and Myrtle Beach to round out the season. Lights on the pace car are off. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Pace car going to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Jake Rout's going to hit that loud pedal, and we're going to resume racing here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. And Raymond trying to use that high side now as we see the 13 of Ty Delphia back in the mix. It's allowed his tires to cool off a little bit, but he's under attack from the 23 of Ethan Tyrell right behind. And then we see Matt Sicardo right back there as well. Stephen Rockford already working his way through the field. He's already up into the 12th position and wasting no time picking him off one by one to get back up towards the front. Meanwhile, Aaron Raymond up on that high side. Jake Rout on the low side as they come off of turn number 4. Rout's going to be just inching ahead of the 88 of Raymond as we start lap number 18 of 75. Raymond able to get back to the throttle just a little bit quicker through turns 3 and 4, but Grout has that advantage down through turns 1 and 2. Now it looks like Raymond found something up on that high side as he pulls away a little bit more on that high side as they come off of turn number 4. And caution flies yet again. It looks like it's for Caleb Kramer, who's looped it around in turn number 3. That's going to bring out our second wreckage rewind of the night. As we take a look to see exactly what happened here. So a little bit of a battle here between Cam Powers and Caleb Kramer. And ooh, just some contact there between those two. Sends the 51 around and up into the outside wall. And the 51 coming down on the pit road to get his damage fixed up. That's going to be caution number 2 here tonight. While we've got a moment, I want to thank everybody again tuning in. Don't forget to check out our great links down below, including check out our website over at Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel. If you're a small-time race team looking for some apparel, some swag, check out IntensityRacing.com and get a quote today. We also have Ali Atman-Weiss's racing gear, a couple other local Virginia drivers, and some of our novelty t-shirts as well. So check it all out down at the link below at IntensityRacing.com. Also, we couldn't do this without great support from our partner, the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, Butt Kicker has more than just racing haptics. You can check them out. They've got stuff for music, movies, and more, even local theaters. They use Butt Kicker technology to give you that 4D effect. Check it all out at thebuttkicker.com. Of course, can't forget about our great partner of the series, SD Ireland Cancer Research. Check out the link below. Donate today. Over $12 million donated towards cancer research. What a great thing. So check that out as the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Green flag flies again. A little wheel spin from a couple of the drivers on that restart. None for Aaron Raymond, though. He easily gets out in front of Jake Grout as they dive down off of turn number 2. A little further back, we see Zicardo up on the high side. He's got Ethan Tyrell down on the inside. Zicardo going to take over that 4th position. Scott Rockford to the inside of Logan Powers in that 77 machine. For Stephen Rockford, who we saw had an incident earlier, now he's battling with the 30 of Cam Powers. Down into turn number 1. Rockford doing everything he can to get himself back up into the mix here. As Logan Powers to the outside of Rockford. He's got Shane O'Neill in the mix here as well. You got this gaggle of cars up here, led by Ty Delphia, Matt Zaccaro, Ethan Tyrell, Justin Prescott, all in the mix. As we are quickly approaching getting 1/3 of the way through the event. I see Cam Powers now battling with Andy Collins. Stephen Rockford able to get away from the 30 machine. He's going to look up to the high side of Mark Baldwin as they come down across the stripe, and he's going to easily take over that 12th position. Next at his sight's going to be the 31 of Logan Powers, with Shane O'Neill right in front as well. Ethan Tyrell right there on the back bumper of Zaccardo as they come across the stripe. Start lap number 26 here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. We're talking about the unique earlier of this track. You see up the hill in the turn number 3 down, and then they start downhill down the front stretch towards turn number 1. Changed your braking zone tremendously between the two ends of the racetrack. A lot more room down to the inside as you come through turns 1 and 2. Down 3 and 4, most drivers like to run that first line there, because you got that big curving there that can really upset the cars if you get down onto it. So multiple lanes around this racetrack, very, very flat down on the bottom. Real old school feel. As Logan Powers taking a look down to the inside of Shane O'Neill. This is a battle for the 10th position. So Powers trying to finally crack into the top 10 here. Great battle going on here for the 10th position. And we see the 66 of Rockford right there in the mix as well. Trying to get himself up towards the front. A lot of damage to that 66, but doesn't look like it's hindering him too much. Not like this is a real aerodynamic based track either. So he should be able to get himself back up to the front with some speed if he can. Meanwhile, a little three-way battle here between Justin Prescott, Jason Pelkey, and Sean Fleury. Powers still not able to clear the 25 of Shane O'Neill. As Scott Rockford got a little loose there, right in front of the 31. And Cam Powers has gone around and wrecked, and caution flies again for the 3rd time here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. So we bring out another Wreckage Rewind here tonight. See if we can figure out exactly All right, now we've got it here. Let's see what happened to Cam Powers. So he goes back a little ways. He was pretty loose here through turns 3 and 4. Down on the inside. Just catches the flat there through turns 1 and 2. Catches the grass, overcorrects it, right up into the outside wall. That's what brought out our 2nd caution of the night. I'm sorry, 3rd caution of the night. Stephen Rockford back on pit road getting some more of that damage fixed. We see Caleb Kramer on pit road getting some damage fixed as well. As the lights on the pace car are off, we have 1 to go before we go back green flag racing. Pace car going to take that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road here. And they're leaning on each other up into the starting zone. Green flag back in the air. Another great jump for Aaron Raymond down into turn number 1. Ty Delphia, Matt Zaccaro battling side by side there. Sorry, Zaccardo. Matt Zaccardo down into turn number 4. And Ty Delphia going to take that spot away from the 60 machine. Meanwhile, Jake Rout trying to do everything he can to get down underneath the 88 of Aaron Raymond. We'll ride along here with Jake Rout. Tries to get a little bit deeper into the corner than the 88, but the 88 using that higher lane. Able to muscle away, catches the wall just a little bit. Meanwhile, battle back here between the 66 of Stephen Rockford and Logan Powers. As Matt Placey on Facebook says, let's go Logan. But that 66 of Rockford looks like he's got more of that damage fixed. Might have had a little bit of front end damage. Now he's starting to turn on the jets as he looks to the high side of the 31 and just about clears Logan Powers off of turn number 4 and into turn number 1. Rockford using that high side that he's had so much luck with here tonight in the early part of the race before he got turned. It's going to clear Logan Powers down into turn number 1. Oh, Powers going to still be there just barely as they go down into turn number 1. As this battle continues, right in front of him we see John Flory all over the back bumper of Scott Rockford. And that's starting to hinder the 66 of Stephen Rockford as they go down the backstretch here to come on lap number 39. Rockford trying to do everything he can to clear Powers. He wants to get back down to the inside lane here. Fortunately, he's just kind of stuck up on the high side as he finally clears Powers. Is he going to slide down into that low lane here as Powers fires back on the inside? Now Rockford able to have the preferred line through turns 3 and 4. Up front, Aaron Raymond continues to lead over Jake Rout. Rout falling back a little bit. Ty Delphia runs back in the 3rd spot. He's starting to reel in the 49 Jake Rout. Looks like Rout may have burned up his stuff a little bit because he's starting to fade as we quickly are approaching 25 laps to go. Sean Flory is going to be the next victim of Stephen Rockford down into turn number 4. That time Rockford faded a little bit off the 31. And Logan Powers trying to do what he can to get back around the 66. He's going to dive down back down to the inside as they go down into turn number 1. Off of turn number 2, though, Rockford able to sneak barely ahead of the 31. He's going to keep that position for now. We start lap 45 of 75. Up at the front here, Aaron Raymond. Let's take a look at this lap time history. We can see that Grout was starting to fall off a little bit. Now he's turned it back on, starting to slowly eat back into the lead of Aaron Raymond. Take a look at the rest of the field. Yeah, Ty Delphia back in 3rd, losing a little bit of ground to the leader. Grout starting to reel the 88 back in. And as I say that, now we see Raymond turning it back on, starting to pull back away from Jake Grout. Meanwhile, Scott Rockford to the inside of Jason Pelkey. Battle for the 7th and 8th position. Pelkey up on the high side. Rockford to the inside. They come across the stripe. We are quickly approaching 25 laps to go. So far, 3 cautions here in tonight's event. But if history is going to repeat itself, we could see quite a few more as the laps wind down here tonight. It's usually the last third of the event tends to have a few cautions in it. As patience starts to wear out, tires start to wear out. The side-by-side battle continues between Pelkey and Rockford. Jake Grout has fallen off of Aaron Raymond by quite a bit as Ty Delphia has reeled in the 49. As we have 25 laps to go, Delphia trying to step on that second step of the podium here tonight. Ever so slightly starting to run down Jake Grout. You can see that all but one lap. Delphia was just a little bit quicker as I come across the stripe this time. Delphia was a little bit slower. But it looks like this time Delphia's reeled in the 49. Try to make something happen in these final 23 laps. Meanwhile, a little further back, Shane O'Neill trying to get back around the 31 of Logan Powers. Logan, our points leader, not having the night that he was hoping for tonight, back in 10th position. But a lot of racing still left. As Jason Pelkey was able to clear and pull away from Scott Rockford. And while our top 3 starting to get a little more nose to tail here in the closing laps. We cross the line, and next time by, we'll have just 20 laps to go. And Jake Grout has found something. He is right there on the back bumper of Aaron Raymond. Our top 3 under a blanket here is Matt Zaccardo. Back and forth. He is about a second and a half behind our leaders as here comes Jake Grout down to the inside. He's got the position. He's trying to take that top spot away as they go down into turn number 3. Almost a little bit of contact there. They were able to keep it under control as they go door to door, side by side down the front stretch. 19 laps to go. Jake Grout to the inside. Aaron Raymond to the outside. And Ty Delphia waiting right there to see if anything happens between these two, because if anything transpires, he's going to be right there to take over that top spot. Aaron Raymond trying to pinch down Jake Grout as they come through turns 3 and 4. Well, contact with the wall there as they come across the stripe. Not enough to bring any harm or foul to either driver as they are side by side down the backstretch with 18 laps to go. Both drivers giving each other a little bit of room here as they come off of turn number 4. Oh, big wiggle out of the 88 of Raymond. It's going to lose all the momentum that he had. Here comes Ty Delphia to the inside. He wants to take over that second position. Door to door off of turn number 2. Raymond trying to use that high lane again. A little contact now between Delphia and Raymond as they come off of turn number 4. Just 16 laps to go. Delphia inches ahead of Aaron Raymond. He's going to fall back into the 3rd position. Raymond is. Here comes Delphia trying to make something happen here. Looking down to the inside of Jake Grout down into turn number 3. Ty Delphia, Jake Grout side by side off of turn number 4 across the stripe. 15 laps to go. Delphia to the inside. Here comes Grout though, really sideways there into turn number 1. He's going to lose some momentum here as they come down the backstretch. Here comes Aaron Raymond back to the high side, trying to make something happen. Trying to push along Jake Grout, put himself in position here in these closing laps. 14 laps to go. Delphia to the inside. Door to door into turn number 2. Delphia continues to try to use that low lane as they go down into turn number 3. Down on the flat, that 13 is. Not able to put that throttle down as quickly as Jake Grout is on the high side. Grout by a nose as they come across the stripe that time. 13 laps to go. Delphia really drives it in deep that time. Leans on the 49 through the corner. Down into turn number 3. Jake Grout with the advantage right now as they come off of turn number 4. But here comes Delphia. Again, door to door across the stripe. Too close to call. 12 laps to go. Both drivers giving each other just a little bit of room. Nice, clean racing. Nobody really making any contact with each other yet. But here comes Aaron Raymond on the back bumper of Ty Delphia, trying to give a little push here as they come down across stripe. Delphia out in front that time by a nose as we have 11 laps to go. Does Aaron Raymond have anything for these two as they continue to run side by side? When does he run out of patience? When does he try to force it 3 wide as they come off of turn number 4? Will he force it 3 wide? Right now, still 2 wide as we have 10 laps to go. Top 3 pulling away, but here comes Zacharow eating into this lead as these guys are running side by side. What was the second half is now down to 1 second. Could he be another player in here in these closing laps? 9 laps to go as they cross the line this time. Ty Delphia just out in front by about a foot. You see Zaccardo just slowly inching his way into the picture. He is now under a second behind. Does he have enough time to join this battle? Aaron Raymond got a little loose there into the corner. He backs out of it. He's followed back a little bit as our leaders continue to battle door to door, side by side through turns 3 and 4. Coming to 7 laps to go. We said it in the heats. If the racing in the heats was as good as it's, or the racing in the feature is as good as it was in the heats, as they lean on each other through turns 3 and 4, we are in for a treat here in the closing laps. Grout on the outside, Delphia on the inside. Aaron Raymond sits back in third, and here comes Zaccardo into the mix here as well with 6 laps to go. Drivers giving each other a little bit more room this time through turns 1 and 2. Still not able to gain any ground on the other as they come off of turn number 4. Still beating and banging across the stripe. Grout that time is going to take over the top spot, but here comes Delphia. More contact down into turns 1 and 2. Delphia muscles his way up into the top spot for the moment as they come down into turn number 3. Grout doing everything he can up on that high side. Delphia doing everything he can to try to muscle that 49 out of the way. 4 laps to go. Old school track, old school hard-nosed racing. Down into turn number 3. Can Delphia try to move that 49 up the track a little bit to try to take the lead as they come off of turn number 4. 3 laps to go. Still too close to call. Aaron Raymond almost up into the marbles there. That's not where you want to be. It's a good way to lose a bunch of grip as he is still right there on the back bumper of Jake Grout up on that high side. Is he going to try to pull down underneath and make it 3 wide here? No, he's not. 2 laps to go from North Wilksboro Speedway. This time, though, Delphia muscles his way to the front, tries to push Grout out of the way, but Grout having none of it, still to the high side. Here comes Aaron Raymond trying to give a little bump there. He does give a bump to the 13. Gets up in the ground. He's going to make a move to the inside. White flag flies. Here comes Aaron Raymond to the inside. Jake Grout gives the bump. Down the backstretch they come. Jake Grout moves the 88 of Raymond out of the way to take over the second spot as they come down to the stripe. Ty Delphi is going to get the win. Jake Kraut comes home second. Aaron Raymond back in third. Matt Zaccaro back in fourth. And Justin Prescott round out your top five. But how about that racing? That was incredible. As Ty Delphia gets the win, and we will take a look at our finishing order here tonight as our leaders make their way down to the front stretch. And let's take a look at that finishing order here. Ty Delphia again gets the win. Jake Rout in second, Aaron Raymond in third, Matt Zaccardo in fourth, and Justin Prescott round out your top five. Sixth was Ethan Tyrell, Sean Flory in seventh, Logan Powers climbs his way up to eighth, Jason Pelkey and Mark Baldwin your top 10. Scott Rockford back in 11th, Shane O'Neill 12th, Andy Collins in 13th, Stephen Rockford not able to rebound from an early incident, falls back to 14th, Caleb Kramer in 15th, Cam Powers and Bradley Bushy round out the field here tonight from North Wilkesboro Speedway. As we get ready to talk to our top three. Starting with our, well, we'll wait for them to get down into the booth here, but man, what an amazing race. Of course, I want to, thank everybody for joining us real quick. Of course, we can't do this without the fans. You guys tuning in each and every week, watching this awesome race, and these guys put on a show here tonight, so we do appreciate you tuning in here tonight. Don't forget to check out our great partners, including IntensityRacing.com, for all your swag needs. If you're a small-time race team looking for some swag, check us out. Get a quote today. SD Island Cancer Research Fund, where over $12 million has been donated towards cancer research already. That continues with you, so go ahead. Down at the link, there is a donate button. And, of course, our great partner over at The Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs. Check out thebuttkicker.com. We've got our top three in the booth with us here. We're going to start with our third place finisher here tonight, Aaron Raymond. Aaron, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy? Well, Aaron, you got a copy? Hang on one second. I am going to mute everything. I am not getting it through on my side. Let me just check my settings here. Bear with me just one moment. Looks like I'm having some audio issues here. We'll try this one right here. And Aaron Raymond, you got a copy?
He just hopped out. I don't know where he went.
Yep, now I've got a copy. I can hear you guys. But looks like he just jumped. We'll pull him back in over here. Let's see if I can. There he is. Aaron, you got a copy?
I can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. I had an issue with I don't know if it was you or me. Somebody had an issue with their headset, but either way, we've got it figured out now, man. What a race. That was an incredible, last 25 laps were just outstanding racing. A lot of give, a lot of take, a lot of respect, and a little bit of bumper action going on there. Talk us through your race, though, man. You had a fantastic start to the race, led some laps, and at the end, just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure out how to finish these races out. It seems like I always tend to lose the lead there, a couple laps left. But yeah, it was a fun race, a lot of hard racing there, and it was just came up short again.
Seems like on cold tires, these cars were really, really loose. We saw you in the heat race getting a little bit sideways, especially at the beginning of the race, getting a little bit sideways. As the run went on, the car starting to tighten up a little bit, it looked like. But then it came a point where the tires kind of cliffed and the cars went back the other way. Talk us through the strategy of trying to keep the tires cool, to keep yourself. I know you said you weren't able to finish here tonight, but what were you trying to do to keep the tires underneath you on the long runs?
I was just trying to run that higher line that I was running, but I backed my entry up a little bit too much and allowed Jake and Ty to get to me. And then once they got past me, I was just trying to save my stuff and trying to find a way around them.
Well, next week we move on to Richmond Raceway. A little bit longer track, a little bit more. Actually, aerodynamics might come into play a little bit with these cars. Talk about what your strategy is going to be next week and how you like your chances there.
Richmond's a fun track in the street stocks. It's gonna be kind of like New Hampshire is going to be bump drafting, but also it's going to be slow enough in the corners where you can try and bump someone out of your way. So it's going to be a interesting race.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Third place finish. Before we let you go here tonight, Aaron, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give?
Yeah, I want to thank you for putting on these broadcasts every week. You do a great job. I want to thank Logan for putting on this league, and I want to thank all the guys who come out each and every week and put on a good show.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight. Good luck next week at Richmond, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Let's bring in our second place finisher, Jake Grout. Jake, got Josh up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah.
Man, great run for you here tonight. You just seemed like you'd fall off a little bit, then turn the afterburners back on, gain on them a little bit, fall off. And I don't know if it was just you trying to keep the tires underneath you or they started to burn them off a little bit, but a lot of side-by-side racing for you here tonight as well. I know that couldn't have been very good on the tires. Talk us through, especially that last 25 laps there, that battle that you had going on.
Yeah, last couple of weeks I've burned the tires off the thing running up front, so we're trying to not do that this week. Just ride, saving for the end, and I think I did a decent job of that. Just couldn't get it done whenever it counted. So, good racing with Ty and everybody up front. That could have got a lot worse than it was, but pretty good.
Yeah, Ty Delphia kind of just came out of nowhere there at the end. He kind of hung around the top 3 or 4 all night long. Did you have him on your radar as one of the drivers to watch out for here at the end?
Yeah, after Hickory rolled around, I saw he knew how to save his tires. He definitely improved from last season. Wasn't really expecting it, but he came around, and he definitely went on my radar after Hickory there.
Well, I'll ask you the same question next week. We move on to Richmond. How do you like your chances there at the D-shaped oval?
I don't really know. Haven't ran him here in the street stocks. Everything else I ran him pretty fun. So it's gonna be keep the front bumper on it, keep the tires on it, and be there at the end.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the runner-up spot here tonight. One spot short. I know you're trying to get that win, but man, a great run for you tonight. Before we let you go, anyone want to thank? Any shout-outs you got to give?
Yeah, I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting, Logan for putting it on, JNS Sales and Service, White's Heating, Justin Brooks Designs, AW Clark Builders, Connor Jones Racing, RCAM Setup Shop, everybody over there, everybody that shows up each and every week to put on some great racing, and yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up. Good luck next week at Richmond. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
And now let's bring in our winner here, driver of the 13 machine, Ty Delphia. Ty, you got Josh up with, got a copy?
I do.
Man, out of everybody here, I'm sure the long runs here tonight probably helped you the most. Seems like every week you're the one that really learns how to save tires and be there at the end, and you showed it again here tonight. Was that kind of, did the long runs really fall into your game plan here tonight?
It did. I thought that I used up a little too much, to be honest, at the end, and I thought Aaron and Jake were going to pull away from me for at the end, but I don't know. I Hickory, I just caught a second win and car went to the front. It was nice.
This track and Hickory do have a lot of similarities, both are very, very old, unique, racetracks. Have that hard-nosed racing, too. When you saw those two battling as hard as they were and the contact that they were making, did that just kind of get your eyes wide and you say, hey, man, I might got a shot at this one here?
Well, I was really hoping for side-by-side racing. Either it sucks that Steven got, dumped out early. He was a fast car. I was hoping a lot of side-by-side racing from Aaron, Steve, and Jake, and I was just going to kind of take my time behind them and let the cards lay where they do and just take what I can get. And then it just kind of opened up at the end where, I think I just saved just that little bit more because those two were fighting, Aaron and Jake. So I just think it was just that tire game again, just saving just that amount more than they did.
Well, regardless, an awesome job here saving tires, getting the win here tonight from North Wilksboro Speedway. Again, next week we move on to Richmond. How do you like your chances there?
I think it's gonna be the same thing. You gotta lift a little bit early for the first part of the race and just take your time and not listen to the tire squeal. Once you hear the tire squeal, they're heated up and game's over at that point. So take your time and just get around and just take what's given.
One last question before we get to the thank yous here. I know I mentioned it a couple times on the broadcast. It's really easy to see on the broadcast, but from the driver's point of view, this track is so unique. Downhill, down into turn number 1, uphill into turn number 3. How much does that change your driving style getting down into the corners, knowing your braking zones are going to be so much different on each end of the track?
Well, yeah, it's just how you entered the corner. I mean, going into 1, I was entering high. You saw Aaron how high he was entering. And that was just grip thing. Like if you were down entering way too low, you're just gonna you know drift and you're gonna squeal them up and heat them up, and then like I said, game's over. But if you ended up higher in turn 1, you could drive down pretty nice, and then turn 3, you really needed to hug it. You couldn't enter too much higher. You had to really dive down, hug the curb, and I think that's where I caught Jake at the end there. Where I hit the curb just trying to hug it a little too much and bumped him and kind of ruined that battle between us.
Well, regardless, congrats again on the win. Now the floor is going to be yours. Before we let you go, anyone want to thank? Any shout you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys put on a good show. I want to thank Logan. I want to thank SD Ireland, CDR Concrete, and East Coast Innovations. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on your win. Good luck next week at Richmond, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So that was your top 3 here tonight from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Of course, we want to thank everybody again one last time for joining us here tonight. Again, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, over on Twitch, we do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget that like button, follow, subscribe. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday night for the Doghouse Racing League Shoney's Tuesday Night Racing Series, their season finale from Atlanta this week. Don't want to miss that. It's going to be an awesome one in the Gen 4 cars. And then we'll be right back here on Wednesday night with our Thunderstruck, Thursday night Thunderstruck. A lot of racing this week, so don't forget to tune in, hit that like button, subscribe, and tune in. Again, we want to thank SD Ireland for the support of the league. Of course, support them as well. Cancer Research, a great opportunity to donate money for a good cause. So check out the link down below and check out all the links of our partners down below. That's going to do it for us here tonight from Intensity Broadcast. Of course, from everyone here, we want to say thank you once more. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over